Hello, and welcome to Formula Racing League. This is coming to you, Chaos, as your caster, and we have got a full grid today. We've got Raro Fiji Demo racing his Merc W11. We got Flex and Taylor Funk, Red Baron, RFX Rafa, Get Done Balzac, Bauer, who's going to be joining us for the first time, Dubman himself, followed by Sheer Insanity, El Dan. We didn't think he was going to make it, but he is here. We got both Brax brothers, and Flex has rejoined the session. T Goldie, Cambor, Nameless Nate, Jayul Patel, and Prestige. So it is going to be a full grid here today as we set out at the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. So I see that we've just had a Red Bull pull out here. I think that might have been Camborne. Let's see. Oh no, that's Jay.
Not going to be here long.
Cool. Awesome. So here we are riding on board with Jayul Patel, who's going to be the first to set a lap. Everyone is out here, and we have got a wet qualifying session coming at you today. Spa is a circuit that gets a lot of rain. It's in the hills of the Ardennes in southern Belgium. Looks like, oh, Rafa. Rafa has already, he has crashed out of qualifying. So here we go. First out on the track, it is Jayul Patel. And Red Baron, we've lost Red Baron as well. So that is two gone early on. Oh dear, there he is right there. Jayul Patel making his way down through Raidillon and Eau Rouge. Or rather, I should say Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Raidillon is the bit that is up the hill. Eau Rouge is the bit at the bottom. Then down through the long Kemmel Straight. It looks flat, but this is actually uphill the whole way. And then wide entry. Make it through the chicane of Le Combe. And then onward into Bruxelles. And this is a really tricky corner. You hold it, it's second or third gear depending on the rain conditions here. And then you get the power down as you make your way down into this long section here coming up towards Pouhon. So you've just climbed up to the very top of the hill, now you're on your way back down. You go tight on the inside, take as much of the outside of the track, and then get the power down as you race your way towards Le Fagnes. This is a big chicane here, it's so large it's almost not a chicane. And then you make your way around to what I think was the far corner of the course. This is Stavelot. You take as wide an exit, clip the apex, careful where that bit of wall, it sticks out very close to the edge of the track, and now we're making our way down Blanchimont. There's two little apices, but really this is the only one that's dangerous. But he's through. And now, braking late for the bus stop chicane. A tight little right, and then a left-hander, and then getting the power on as soon as you possibly can to get that early acceleration towards the line. And our first time is going to be set. And that's a 158.8. We've got a few others on hot laps right now. We're on board with Flex. Through Lisvania. Keeping it in a nice high gear, making sure he doesn't get that wheel spin as he makes his way around. And now Flex, carving his way down through the third sector of this race course. It's almost a straight, but it's a long, twisting straight if ever there was one. I know how odd that sounds. Yellow flag out in Sector 2, as that is Raro who's off the track. Flex getting close to, I believe that might be El Sucio Dan. And let's see what Flex can set. He's second behind Dan, and oh wait, that wasn't Dan, pardon me. That must have been Get Dunked. Sheer Insanity now, making his way along. Sheer Insanity, of course, has been a really fantastic qualifier this season. He has repeatedly looked threatening in the races, but he's really trying to get this season going. Into the bus stop chicane, braking a little bit wide of the apex. No short shifting from this man. And he races towards the start-finish line, and Sheer Insanity has a 1:59.040. Alright, we now go on board with T. Goldie, who is just starting his very first lap on board with his Haas. Oh, a little bit of a moment there as he comes out of La Source. And now up and away we go. We're past the Eau Rouge, the little creek that gives that small valley its name. And then up the Kemmel Straight. There's a couple of cars up ahead, hopefully they're not going to get in the way of T. Goldie here on this hot lap. Good first sector. He's right at the very, very edge of control here. Oh goodness, look at that. He's just having the back step out in every corner as he makes his way down through Bruxelles. Oh, it's a little bit wide there, but the lap is not disallowed. Coming up on a couple of other cars and Puon here. Hopefully they're going to be able to get out of the way of them here, as Flex sets another fastest lap. That's a 1:57.594. T. Goldie, cleanly through Lefania. Let's see the line he gets into Stavelot. Oh, that's Sheer Insanity off on the side of the track there. Lots of carnage in this qualifying session. T. Goldie has been running very fast, very ragged here. Let's see where he's going to put it. There we go. There's only 2 corners left for him here as he comes up. Taylor Funk is in on the inside, but he's well outside of the way. 1 apex, 2 apices, and here we go. We're on to the start-finish straight. T. Goldie just needs to get the power down in as straight a line as he possibly can. And there we go. It's 11th place for T. Goldie with a 1:59.868. And now we've got a bit of a quiet mode here. The place to look, I would say, is Luke Brax, who's just going to be starting on a hot lap here, if I'm not mistaken. I am mistaken. He's going back into the pits. Instead, how about we follow Ian? And if we'll just take a moment, I'm going to pop up some of the league standings. So keeping track of where we are in this championship right now, Flex is the championship leader. He currently has 153 points, which puts him 1 win out ahead of everyone. He had a massive streak of 5 straight podiums, of which 4 were wins and 3 were fastest laps, that gave him a very, very commanding lead. And then Camborne has been one person to bring the challenge against Flex. So Cam is currently running 2nd place in the championship at 121 points. He's had just 3 podiums this season, but he's had a lot of consistency. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to score a huge amount of points in these last couple of races. As he comes out on the intermediates, maybe seeing if he can do a little bit of something with these tires. It's going to be hard though, because these look a lot like full wet conditions. Kenny Lafleur is missing from this race, and he's been a big player in the championship. He's got 5 podiums and 1 victory, but he hasn't really been able to get the best of Flex, and he has also missed the last 3 races, which has really put a dent in him, and he has dropped down to 114 points in 3rd place. Rafa is currently running P4, and he's going to be starting from the very back of the grid here. Free choice of tires doesn't mean very much when you qualify in the wet. Then we've got Raro, who's just been Mr. Consistency with 98 points. Only 2 podiums, but he has just been hauling in regular points every single race. El Sucio Dan is the defending champion at 97 points, and well, the interesting thing for Dan is if he shows up for a race and he finishes, he's pretty much guaranteed a podium. He's had a really, really fantastic record for that. Just to get a picture of that, he has unfortunately missed 5 races, but of the 6 races he's been to, 1 of them he's retired, and all of the others he has been in the top 4 positions. So El Sucio Dan is always a threat, and he could be really putting on a late charge, because right now we're at the halfway point of this season, so a lot still to come. And then we move on. We've got Luke Brax at 89 points, Prestige at 66, Balzac at 62, Sheer Insanity at 46. As we said, Sheer has always had pace, but it's all about that reliability and race results that he's looking for. Ian Brax as well, only 3 races that he's been able to start this season, but he's still got 30 points. And then Jay Patel at 12, Nameless Nate at 21, Red Baron at 18, Brother John at 16, Get Dunked and Fiji Dumbo tied at 13 apiece, but Fiji actually wins that tie because of his excellent result in Hungary 2 weeks ago. And then we move on. We've got Lord Raptor with 8, Taylor Punk with 6, T Goldie at 6, Dubman with 2, and Jaegershot with 1 point this season. So here we go. Currently the standings, T-Funk has the fastest lap, so you know what? I was questioning those intermediates, but the intermediates, they mean business, folks. They're not playing around. And I think everyone else should be taking note of this, because look at that. Bauer, T-Funk, both of them have gone out on those tires, and it has paid off handsomely for them. So let's see if Cam is going to be able to do something. You'll note that he is also on the intermediate tires. So that's really the changing shape of this qualifying. People are finding that in spite of the tricky conditions, intermediates are the place to be. They're several seconds a lap faster. If, of course, you can keep it on the track. There's yellows here, there's yellow there, but Camborne is keeping it clean and keeping it on the track as he makes his way through Stabilo and down onto Coeur Paul Frere and towards Blanchimont. You can see that's a very good sector. Is that Dubman? Nope, that was T Goldie. I believe I just saw T Goldie set a purple sector, which very good if he did. Camborne making his way in towards the bus-stop chicane. There's a lock up on those intermediates. Let's see what he can do with this. El Sucio Dan goes fastest. And now let's see what Cam can do in response. He's in 11th, but not for long. He pushes himself up, but he is once again pipped by El Sucio Dan, who's looking fiercely fast here today. Making our way around. Prestige is making his way out. He is currently P4, of course. Prestige qualified very, very nicely in Hungary last time around. We've got Nameless Nate coming up. Prestige getting out of the way of his teammate here. So Nameless Nate also trying to get a faster lap in on these intermediate tires. It's hard to say where to look. I think I want to keep an eye on anyone who seems to be out of position. Let's have a look. Where's Flex right now? Well, Flex is actually just a little ways behind here as he gets past Camborne. So currently, all of the top 8 except for Flex set their times on the intermediates. Everyone down below is on the wets. Clearly, you've got to be on the greens right now if you want to make it happen. Looks like Jay Patel might have had a disconnect. Ooh, that was close. That was close. Flex loses a couple of tenths off of that, having to lift a bit to keep it on the track. But as he makes his way through Le Fagnes, his traction is looking good. And that's everything here. It's all about getting clean acceleration out of the corners, having nice braking, not braking so lightly that you're losing time, but not braking so hard that you're locking up. It's a careful balance, and it's oh so much harder to strike, especially when you're racing in wet conditions. Assists are allowed in this division, so some people will be running with a little bit of brake assist here, or rather anti-lock. But nonetheless, there's people here who are racing without it, and it is brutal in these conditions. So here comes Flex. He's coming in behind Taylor Funk. And Flex, that's the fastest, 1:54.082, and Flex puts himself up on pole. Is there an answer? El Suciudan's not coming out, so he's not going to be able to top him. Camborne is going up for another lap, so he's not too worried about this. He's already run one hot lap, he's had a cool down and recharge lap, and now he's going out again. So Cam is going to make another charge for pole, but it's going to be tough to beat Flex here. Nameless Nate making his way around, and look at that. Apparently the purple drink is working well for Nameless Nate, because he is sitting in P4 right now. T-Goldie racing his way around the top of Radion, and Taylor Funk, look at this, almost everyone is out on the track. T-Funk, unfortunately, this lap is disallowed, but he does have enough time to make it around for one more hot lap. Ian Brack's currently running P7 as he is trying to get higher up here. He was looking like one of the big threats from the preseason. We've just lost Dubman. Let's see where that's happened. Well, his car's still moving, so I have to mention that that was just him retiring from the session, knowing he's not going to set a faster lap. Prestige is not going to be setting a lap himself. Fiji is out, going to see if he can get anything done here. And let's see, Raro currently way down, hoping that he can get a lap, but he's only got one chance to push himself out of the very bottom positions. Here we've got Bauer, currently P12, and then we've got Balzac on a hot lap. No, not a hot lap right now. He's getting ready to set one final lap. Raro also going for an all-or-nothing lap. But right now, I'd like to take a little look at Nameless Nate, who is coming in here. He is getting ready. This is going to be Nate's final lap. One shot to push it higher than P5 to defend his position against everyone else who is on a charge on this improving track. So here we go. Right now, Luke Brax is going to be the first of this group that is going to try and set a better time. He is currently in P3, so he can't move up that much, but he would love to be on pole position. We've got Bauer behind him. And then Raro. Behind Raro. Oh! Oh, Bauer is just... Woof. That's some damage there. And Bauer is not going to be setting a faster lap than that. He just needs to make sure he stays out of the way. This Nameless Nate can't be too happy with that rejoin there. Oh, and we've just had Camborne disqualified. Oh dear. Well, what did Cam do to get himself disqualified from the session there? Because that's going to drop Cam all the way down to 19th position. That is rough. And Nameless Nate also, his lap disallowed. Let's see how the others are doing. Luke Brax is still clean. As is Raro. Well, I think we're just going to have to watch with this group. Also, I think... Let's see, Bauer's off on the side again. J.L. Patel confirms that his game has crashed. Here we go. Luke Brax, this is going to be it. This is for all the marbles. And Luke Brax, can he go any faster? He does not. How about Raro? He's making his way in. Raro from 15th, what can he do? He's up to 13th place. Nameless Nate making his way out, and as he comes across the finish line, Nameless Nate is not able to improve on his best lap time. What's this? Does El Suciudan... No, El Suciudan does not have a lap time that he can set here. And Balzac comes through, and he is up to P8. So, with no one left who can set a faster lap time, Dubman saying Cam should be 5th. That DSQ was utter BS. So Dubman apparently got a bit of a view of that. Unfortunately, not a huge amount that we can do there unless we opt to remake the lobby. And we can't really do that after confirming what the weather is going to be. So, with our finishing results, we've got Flex, El Sucio Dan, Luke Brax as the top 3, then T Goldie, Nameless Nate, Bauer, P6 in his quali debut, Taylor Funk, Balzac, Ian Brax, Prestige, Fiji Domo, Dubman himself, Patel's back in the race. That's good to see because we got Raro, JL Patel, who's just rejoined, Sheer Insanity, Get Dunked, Red Baron, RFX Rafa, and Camborne controversially excluded from the results for an incident that I did not see, but Dubman definitely caught it. All right. Hummus God confirming that Bauer smells. Well, I'm not one to deny the Hummus God. But I'd have to say the scent is the sweet, sweet smell of P6. Look at those cars bouncing over there. Surely you see that. That is hilarious. Look at them just boing, boing, boing over in the corner. I encourage all of you to have a look at the far left side of the screen there. Wayo. What's up, Rocket Puppy? So, we'll be waiting to get everyone here. Oh, Powers had a crash. That would be what happened. That would be very, very frustrating. Alright. Re-inviting Joe Patel, as unfortunately he got put into a spectator slot for some reason. And Bauer's back. Good to see, good to see. Hopefully everyone is here. And hopefully we'll be able to get things sorted out. So once again, if we're going to go through the championship, right now Flex is leading by a solid amount. And we've got Camborne at 121 and Kenny at 114. So the big championship contenders right now, if we're to say everyone who has half of the points of the leader and above, we got Luke Brax, El Susudan, Raro, Rafa, Kenny, Camborne, and Flex as the top in this group. But we're just a few seconds away from the start of this formation lap.
Ooh, hello?
Hello there.
Oh,
I'm
hello,
joined.
Mr. Chaos.
Hey there. And I'd like to say hello, everyone, to your friend and mine, the generational talent Cub, who will be co-casting
Thank
with
you
me
very
tonight.
much.
He's also been running as Rafa's engineer. Cub, Rafa had a bit of a moment going out in quali.
Official Mercedes engineer. I'm doing
Official Mercedes engineer.
yeah, really bad quality for actually both of them. Rafa just lost control when he exited out of the menu and gained control of his car, and he just spun hit them all.
Rough.
Broke the suspension and sheer insanity. He did a pretty good lap on the wets, and then his game crashed, couldn't rejoin, and he tried going, and his AI just went out on the wets again, and yeah, it was pretty much over at that point.
Yeah, it really
Right
shifted
now,
into interconditions, didn't it?
yeah, we have this track looks really damp, and it doesn't look like it's hot. The track is hot at all. Hoping for a lap 1 safety car so we can extend the softs and just go on mediums about around lap 11, 12.
Well, last time you and I were involved in a race here, we didn't get any safety cars at all, much to my chagrin. I've given full
We've got
advice to all
19
drivers.
cars tonight.
I know, it's a
It
crowd!
might
Although, we've got issues for 2 of them. Right now, we've got Jail Patel, who's having trouble getting back in because it keeps on putting him in as a spectator. Bauer's going to have to join in because his car will be AI controlled at the start. I'll just send another invite to Jail Patel. But we're making our way through Sector 3 right now. We've got Flex, El Sucio Dan, Luke Braxton, T. Goldie leading in the front 2 rows.
Well, Team Mercedes hoping for some quick gains in the first few laps. Very, very aggressive, starting from the back with softs.
Well, Rafa's certainly got experience in having to make burns from the stern. His ridiculous result just recently in Hungary, where he went on a mammoth-long stint on geriatric tires and managed to wring a 2nd place out of them.
Yep, I think we'll see Rafa up there with sheer insanity too.
Absolutely, yeah. We all know that Sheer is very good, and the qualifying conditions were weird. His problem has always been consistency in the races. He's always got the pace, but he just needs to keep it clean. We got 5 lights. And here we go. You can see Jay Patel pops off to the side, but Flex is able to hold the lead. El Sucidan P2, and they're going up the inside. El Sucidan is able to take it, but they're through what? And is T. Goldie going to be able to push in through here? The front 3 are taking away here. Jay Patel still having trouble getting in here. And now we've got Luke Brax following up in 4. We've got a couple of positions rising up further back as Ian Brax has moved up, but he's racing side by side with Prestige. Over in 10th, there's a couple going wide out at the top of Radion, but right now Flex has come up with the best lead. Corner cutting apparently for Flex on the very first corner, and T. Goldie going up the inside. Is he going to try and outbrake him into Lacombe? Here we go, they're coming in. T. Goldie is going to have a tire advantage, but he doesn't get the line that he needs, and Flex is able to hold the lead. El Sucio Dan is running P3 right now with a small gap. Luke Brax has been able to close it back in, and Taylor Funk is tumbling down. He's lost a couple of positions as he goes down through Brussels. Well, that's a bit of a start. Cobb, your thoughts?
Very clean. I am surprised that we haven't seen anybody just go off track and just crash. But there's a good sign that we'll get a good race tonight.
Absolutely, and we've got such a big crowd here. You almost are expecting something to happen, but it's not. It seems that the only problem right now, let's see, Dubman himself having a bit of a moment here. Is he taking some damage? I think he's missing a front wing on Dub. No, it's still there, actually. He's just fallen off the pace a little bit.
Oh, Prestige is off.
Oh no!
Ay. It's just yellow flag, so no safety car for that. Wing looks... I can't tell. Wing looks intact, I think.
It seems like it, yeah. So, coming through, T Goldie is very close, and he's going to have the tire advantage on Flex for the beginning, because remember, he is starting on the softs. There he goes, up the inside. T Goldie has the lead as he comes out of La Source.
Yeah, and also Sudan might have a run on Flex too.
He certainly looks like it. He's right in behind here. No
DRS
DRS
is
this
on.
lap. No DRS though, but he's going to make the lunch. He doesn't have the same tire advantage, but he's going to go for the lunch anyways. Is there going to be a little cutback here? But no, Flex is able to defend effectively. He's still taking a look though, as he comes down into the downhill left of Brosel. Oh, we've just lost Bauer.
Not sure what happened, but Wink looks okay.
Does indeed, and he's right with Prestige here. So Dubman has had a first lap pit stop. So that's going to be a little tricky to come back from, but he's going for a speed strat, so it looks like he's going to be hoping for something. I just noticed we got a Haas sandwich in this whole grid here.
Oh yeah, Dubman and T Goldie.
So we do, and T Goldie has had some really, really nice race performances lately. He hasn't necessarily been able to get the top results of it, but he's definitely been showing some solid skills in the last couple of races. It's been very fun to watch. Seems like the top three are beginning to pull away here, as Luke Brax is slipping off the pace a little bit, but he is pursued by Nameless Nate, Fiji Dummo, who is up in P6, Balzac Taylor Funk, who is closely pursued by Raro, who's taking a little bit of a peek as he comes up. Fastest lap for T Goldie, and yeah, the fight is really in the middle. Once you get down to about P9, it's a crowd. Because he's pursued by Ian Braxton Camborne, and we both know how good those two are. And Sheeran Sandy right here, currently running P12 and get dunked behind him. Rafa up into P14 after having to start from right towards the back. Red Baron P15, Patel. Bauer.
Very crucial lap for T Goldie here. If he gets overtaken by Flex, and it looks like he will be overtaken by Flex.
Ooh. Yeah, he's able to hold it for now, but he had to really compromise that line. Oh, we've just lost Nate!
Ooh. And we have
Let's see
a
what
virtual
happens here.
safety car.
Yeah, we've got a VSC. Something happened in Lecombe. It looks like he spun out on the entry to Lecombe. It can happen. It can happen.
Yep.
As it's a
This
virtual, that
upcoming
won't help Dubman.
sector, very crucial for T Goldie to get out of that DRS from Flex.
Indeed, because his whole strategy is incumbent on being able to build up an advantage early on. Because
Yeah.
you know that Flex is very good. He's been the top performer this year. I don't think we can look at the results any other way. But right now, T Goldie has the tire advantage, so he can potentially play strategy against him if things work out well, if he maybe gets a good timing for a pit stop of his own. This is very easily a one-stop track, I'd say. Nameless Nate,
Very
upset with the curbs in this game. I know the feeling. They're very much more punishing than they've been in previous iterations of the F1 game. So it seems that we have lost J.L. Patel. Oh, and the VSC has ended. So I
That
should
was a
note
really
that
long VSC, honestly.
it certainly was, but it comes out just as the leading cars are heading through the bus stop chicane. El Susiodan taking a little bit of a peek at Flex, but he doesn't have that same tire advantage that T Goldie has.
And actually, T Goldie might just be out of that DRS from Flex. And I think he is,
yeah,
just
he
exactly
was.
1 second on the spot.
Yeah, he was there, but T Goldie also picks up a penalty to go along with Flex's. Not quite as big, but El Susiodan has a run. Here we go. He takes a look. Flex defends slightly to the inside, but not enough to keep. Oh,
yeah.
El Susiodan is spun out, and now here we go. The crowd is going to come up. El Susiodan just rejoins right in front of the crowd. Oh, that's ugly. He's
Ooh, and he
keeping out
just
of the
parked it
way.
on the apex.
Oof. Well, that
that-
suddenly.
That entry into that corner is just deadly.
Certainly is. We've also just lost Prestige. Has had, I think, maybe that wasn't Prestige who brought out that low safety, but we had a moment there.
Ooh, and
Oh.
Sheeran Sandy is off.
Sheer, yes. His front wing appears to be intact. But yeah, we're having a little bit of attrition starting to affect this race here. So far, only one driver disconnected, which is Jay Patel. Although, Jay, you'll be happy to see that your car is actually doing reasonably okay right now. All things considered. What have we got that AI set to right now? And Nameless Nate, we have lost him. A victim, the first victim of the Spa Curbs. Or I should say, the first race-ending victim, since it certainly seems a couple of drivers have lost it, and it's been Lacombe that's been taking the head count right now. T. Goldie is holding out ahead of Flex. He's not dropping into that DRS zone. A couple of warnings here for some corners, but I'd like to doff my cap to Fiji Dummo. Once again, he is doing the Fiji thing. Oh my goodness! He did the other Fiji thing.
As soon as you say that.
Well, no, I was about to say the Fiji thing is to race absolutely amazingly, then make a terrible mistake. So, here we go. He almost has a run on Luke Brax there after just about eating a wall out of Raidillon. But look at that, he is up 7 positions. Only one driver is up higher than that, and that is Cam, who's come up from very last place due to his strange disqualification in qualifying.
Yeah, I was wondering why he got disqualified.
Yeah, well, by the account of Dubman, he was innocent. And I have no particular reason to distrust what Dubman's saying about that. But yeah, something happened that caused him to get disqualified and thus get dropped all the way down to the very bottom of qualifying results.
He's gonna have some trouble. I think somebody... Oh, and Sheeran said he's DNF'd. Going through the very fast left-hander, probably just lost the car. His car, I think it keeps going though. No,
Yeah,
I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, we'll get a little bit of a view of what happened when we come back to Red Baron. We're running an ongoing covert mission to try and get Jay Patel back into his car. It looks like Shear's car has just disappeared, and Cub, Chief Mercedes Strategist, you are down to 1 car, sir, but it's running P10.
Soon to be P1, easy.
Well, hey, I mean, 10...
I'm confident.
10 is just binary 2, so I mean, he's only 1 position away from it if you're counting in base 2. But right now, Rafa has slipped outside of DRS range, but he has Ian Brax right on his tail, and Ian's got a little bit of a run here. Not quite enough to make a lunge unless he's feeling really gutsy, and I don't think you want to make a lunge against Rafa. He's good on the brakes.
Yeah, we are running a little bit of aggressive setup on the tires, and I think Rafa is starting to struggle with the tire wear. As of right now.
Oh, looks like we got a side-by-side, and Taylor Funk is able to hold 5th position. Balzac was making a little bit of a move there, but it really compromised his exit, and T-Funk was able to pull it right back. And look at this. This battle, there's just DRS non-stop everywhere from P4 all the way back to P11.
This is a really long train, honestly.
Yeah, and Raro, with that little mistake from Balzac, Raro was able to push it up the inside. And they both, nice respect between those 2 drivers. Both leaving the space that they need to make it through, and they push out through Paul Frere and down towards Blanchimont. Raro is extremely close to Balzac, but there's not much of an opportunity. He might have a little bit of a lunge. He does have the advantage. Balzac's braking to the inside. Raro goes around the outside, and he's going to hold the line, but he's not going to get the same launch that Balzac does, and Balzac is able to retake the position, and with that, El Sucio-Dan is able to also slip through on Raro. Now El Sucio-Dan going to push in around the outside. Raro squeezes through the middle! Oh, the wheels are interlocking! A little bit of contact with the back of Balzac, and this is going to have El Sucio-Dan right alongside the back of Balzac. Great view from Raro here. As you can see, El Sucio-Dan, he's not going to dare to go too wide through a Rouge. Ian Brax picks up a time penalty, and now Balzac is in a lot of trouble. He is sitting in the front, but right behind him he has 2, 3, maybe even Rafa's going to try and make a move here. There goes Raro. Is Rafa going to be able to do something here as he dives in? El Susiodan takes the position, as does Raro. Balzac is down by 2. Further behind, Bauer Power has made up a position, and Bauer is sitting P11.
No, he's done pretty good considering that he spun right after the right at the start of the race. So pretty good recovery drive from him for now.
So right now, there's not much of a race going on at the front. Right now, Flex has gotten the lead on T-Gold. Oh, Raro spins it!
I'm glad the ghosting system just kicked in at the right moment, because Balzac was gonna T-bone that car.
Indeed, yeah. You hate to see drivers get taken out by things like that, but the good thing is that Raro is still in the race. He's only lost a couple of seconds, but we've got another yellow, and that's his teammate. Red Baron's out.
And this could be a safety car.
Once again, look at that. Another victim of Le Com. It's just a absolutely brutal corner for ending drivers' races. Doesn't look like we're going to get a safety car, though. Oh,
Yep.
But we've got a couple of people who are taking a pit stop now just because, you know, it's a good opportunity. This is a decent crossover point if you're going to do an early one stop. At the front of the race, Flex is leading T Goldie. He's been able to put on a bit of a gap. Taylor Funk is the leader of the chase group, and he has got a crowd right behind him. So T Funk is leading Luke Rax, Fiji Domo, El Sucio Dan, who had a moment that dropped him out of the position for the very front. And, speaking of which, he's going through on Fiji right now. And there you have it, El Sucidan back up into P5. And then we've got a small gap that has finally started to form back to Balzac and Ian Brax. So this really tight midfield battle is finally starting to break up just a little bit. And actually, you've really got everyone still in this fight until you get back to get dunked. So 10th place is basically the very tail end of that particular fight, and then you've got the drivers whose races have been badly compromised. You've got Prestige, Camborne, Rafa, Raro, Patel, and Dublin himself. But let's take a moment to have a little look, because not all those are compromised. Some of them have done a pit stop.
Yeah, people that pit lap 7, like Cam, Rafa and Raro, they are gonna have some trouble going to the end with some decent pace on those mediums.
But we have seen Rafa do some very, very nice tire saving in Hungary. Of course, this is a very different track, but look at that. Purple sector coming out here. Rafa's got pace. T-Funk into the pits. And that's going to drop him down back into this group. Luke Brax getting a little bit aggressive, seeing if he can make something happen around El Sucidan, and El Sucidan is through. Den is pacey. But Luke Brax is going to have a little bit of a run here, and so is Fiji, although he's a little ways back. It takes a peek, and here we go. The deadly corners. They've taken quite a few victims this race. Oh, and we've just had someone, we've just lost Prestige. Prestige has been lost. Oh, goodness, and we lose Jail Patel as well.
Safety car.
We've lost Prestige. Patel, I think Jail Patel finally got back into the race, and then he's out of it after all that effort. Poor guy. And suddenly, we started with 19, we got 14, and this is the safety car. This is going to be really, really tricky for the guys who just did their pit stops. It all comes down to what sort of advantage you can get, because they've already got their fresh tires, but everyone else is going to get a really nice reduced delta pit stop if they want to take it right now. That's not going to be super advantageous for people like Flex, Dan, Luke Brax, and Balzac, but it is a godsend for T Goldie, for Fiji Dumbo, for Bauer and Get Dunked. So here we go, let's see what the decisions are.
Yeah, pit lane here actually very long, about 30 seconds.
Flex is in.
Well,
I wonder if Flex is gonna go for 2 stops. He's either going hards or going soft.
You definitely not want to use hards at all.
El Sucio Dan is in. Well, let's see what Flex is putting on. He's putting on hards.
And
He
he's
might have
also
the base
serving that
pull off.
5-second penalty.
That's a cocky move from Flex, but he's the kind of guy who can get away with making cocky moves. Balzac is staying out. So he'll lead the race, but he's going to have some old tires. Flex comes out, and he's actually only lost one position off of that. T. Goldie is out for a long run on the mediums. El Sucio Dan has put on some softs. Luke Brack's out on hards, so it's only Luke and Flex who are risking the hards. T-Funk pushes by, but that's an illegal overtake. He was out of the pit lane when that happened. And it looks like the order has shaken itself out. We've only got one man who has stayed out, and that man is now the leader, Balzac, but geez, what's Balzac going to do? I mean, he might be looking at these crashes so far and saying, hey, you know, this is going to be a high attrition race. I might get another great opportunity to take a bit off. And Balzac has proven himself to be a strong defender. A Walzac, if you will.
Yeah, a difficult choice to make that for sure. He's running the mediums. He can pit for mediums again because he can't finish on them as he started with them. If you go for softs, you will have to pit again, so that makes that 2 stops. Can you make up the 30 seconds that you lose in the pits? Maybe, probably not. And you definitely want to stay away from the hards as it's the worst compound in the game. Even in the real life, they don't really use it.
Yeah, it's a rough situation there. But again, we've seen that Flex has the skill, and sometimes that can, like, if you've just got a couple tenths on a bunch of your competition, you can get away with running a suboptimal tire on a really long marathon strategy.
Problem is though, Flex is in hards, but he is surrounded by people with mediums, softs, and mediums again.
And we very well could get more safety cars or more VSCs that are just going to help with the tire saving. So right now, your man Rafa is sitting here in P8, and he lost out a little bit from that, but not terribly. He's going to have to make a couple of overtakes, but Rafa is certainly not a man who is scared of having to do that.
I think we actually made up some places. I think we pitted P10, and now under safety car we are P8, so 2 places just in the pits.
Well, we're going to get one more lap under the safety car, and that is good news for the people on mediums and bad news for the people on hards. Hards just want this to turn into as rough, as high wear a race as it possibly can, and cruising around at low speed is not going to do that.
Yep, I think the man in trouble right now is not only Flex but also El Sucio Dan. Taking the softs while he's surrounded by traffic.
He's certainly going to be able to push his way through. I would not be surprised to see El Sucio Dan taking the lead, but then he's going to have to make a pit stop. He could be gambling on another safety car. It wouldn't be the most ridiculous strategy here. We've already had 1 VSC and 1 full safety car.
I'll even argue that he is going to the end.
Well, the key thing is for El Sucio
9
Dan,
laps.
he couldn't exactly pit for mediums. We just lost Fiji!
What happened?
He crashed under safety car.
I think Ericsson hit us.
Frigging Jedi Marcus Ericsson. Hey, you know what?
Come back to El Sucio Dan.
I've cast with Fiji before. I'll send him a message asking if he'd like to drop in.
No, going back to El Sucio Dan, I'm pretty sure he will take those softs to the end, but the problem is the very three last laps are gonna be painful. That's where you're gonna see the drop off in pace for the softs. But if he can get into P1 within that lap or 2 from the restart, I think he is gonna be in a pretty good spot to finish on the podium, or even possibly win the race.
Maybe even better, because keep in mind, if Balzac can hold on to the lead for a little while, he is a firm defender. He's the kind of guy who, you know, can hold people back. So if El Sucio Dan gets through, but then Balzac holds people up, El Sucio Dan could be pulling out 2-3 seconds a lap.
Yeah, I think safety car in this lap. As Balzac slows down the field, and he's gonna be the one to restart the race.
Yep.
T. Goldie just left the session.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah.
Yep, it's really bad.
Yeah, that's going to be really, well, El Sucio Dan, I think that and yep, Fiji. No. Oh my goodness, T. Goldie's pitting! What is happening?
That's his AI.
Oh my
Why is
effing
it-
god. That's horrid. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, here comes El Sucio Dan then, up the inside, and he's already up to second. Balzac continues to hold the lead. El Sucio Dan almost certain to get through him here. Flex is going side by side, they're going to go side by side through Eau Rouge and Mabillon! Oh my goodness! El Sucio, yeah, that was El Sucio Dan. And that is Rafa.
Oh no. Shit. Well, both of my cards are out.
What a disastrous restart. Well, Balzac holds the lead. Flex, Taylor Funk now in P3, Camborne P4, Luke Braxton, Raro 5 and 6. But, well, they're not calling a safety car for that.
Yeah, really weird. It's just a car stopped at the top of Radialian.
Yeah, you know.
I'm not
as
sure what
happens.
happened. Looks like
Well,
there was a bit of contact and it
there was-
looked like a puncture?
Well, there was contact between Flex and El Sucio Dan. El Sucio Dan lost it a little bit going over the top of Radial, and then he went sideways, didn't go fast enough, and Rafa just absolutely T-boned and sent him flying through the air. El Sucio Dan did about a 360 in the air. He and Rafa were both immediately out of the air. Basically, well, Rafa was the Juan Manuel Correa, and the Hubert was El Sucio Dan in that case. Well, we've got green light racing though, and Balzac is leading ahead of Flex. And this actually works out very well for Flex because this has taken out a bunch of the big threats around him. So right now, who does he have behind him? He's got Taylor Funk, and he's got his big championship rival Camborne. Interestingly enough, Camborne, his teammate. So things looking very good for an AlphaTauri double podium today.
Camborne, driver of the day so far. Literally starting P19, now up to P4.
He's kept it clean. And Luke Brax, yeah, he's having so much trouble keeping close to these cars ahead on the hard tires. A little bit of weaving back and forth to keep the draft going. So the real tight fight right now, they're all over the place. I can scarcely know where to look right now, but I'm going to keep an eye on Ian Brax for the moment. Right now, so everyone who is running the soft, which is to say El Sucio Dan, is out of the race, so now it's just mediums and hards, and the one person who's on a different strategy is Balzac, who leads the race. And right now, he's pulling out a little bit, but Flex is able to hold within DRS range. And with that, Flex is in a very good position to potentially win this race. T. Goldie is able to rejoin. He's going to find himself in last place, but, you know, so it goes. Hopefully something will happen that will let him get back in here, but you know what? There's still a chance for points for T. Goldie.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think when Balzac pits, I think T. Goldie will actually end up in front of him.
Well, a lot depends on what happens with Balzac here, but right now, he can't build up that much of a gap. Flex might be trying to make a move around the outside. Balzac takes an inside line here, and that's going to compromise him a lot on exit. Oh, and there we go.
Yep.
Balzac pits right after this. Okay, well, that's not necessarily optimal for him, but he had to pit at some point. And we've got a couple of pits happening further behind here. Oh, pardon me, no, I missed off the track. That is incorrect. Flex now leads the race, followed by Taylor Funk. And Raro is making a move on Luke Brax. Oh, and T. Goldie is disconnected again. I'll send him an invite.
So it looks like Taylor's got easily overtake Flex into turn. I don't know what turn that is. But the new leader, Taylor Funk, and I think he's gonna just disappear right now and just run away from Flex.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just missed the overtake for the lead with that. But hopefully T Goldie's able to get back into the race. So Cam, looking really close here, and Cam is going to be the next guy who's going to look to make a move on Flex here. And once again, we've got a tight fight. It's all the way back to 7th. 1st to 7th in a tight little group here. Balzac has done a lot to bottle up this whole gang here. Whoa, there's a moment! Bauer! Into the wall! And he's out. Bauer is out of the race. Get dunked and Dubman come through, but Bauer's out. And another safety car. Oh my god, Balzac is going to be whacking his head on his steering wheel. Why now? Why now? But I suppose you had to make that.
I think that's actually perfect for him.
Yeah, now that I think of it, actually works out quite. Oh, Balzac has to outright stop as he was speeding under the safety car there. And this is maybe going to allow T Goldie to get back into the race, which honestly would be justice for him if it was. And now Luke Brax recognizes, I'm not doing this hard strategy at all. He's going to put on some softs. So last time around, we wanted to see some of these cars running softs late, and now he's going to put on some softs late. We've lost Bauer. We're down to 10 drivers out of the 19 remaining. Very heavy attrition, as we have often seen in these races. Just it started off so well, Cub, and then we just started losing drivers. We've lost Nameless Nate. Sheer Insanity is gone. Red Baron, also an early retirement, and then we lost JL Patel. Prestige a few laps later. Fiji, under the safety car. Very steamed by his own account, just like angry about that.
I don't know if if that was just me, but the safety car is actually behind Cam right now.
Yes, the safety car is glitching very badly right now. Ian Brax gets off the track. Yeah, there's some, okay, the safety car is waving everyone through.
That was really weird, honestly.
Yes, the safety car was glitching and teleporting around. Courtesy of Codemisters. Alright, well, that's going to definitely cause everyone to have to do several more laps under safety car. Honestly. Oof. Well,
yeah,
now
I'm not sure what's going on with that safety car.
Well, if I understand correctly, the safety car suddenly stopped believing it was in the lead and then waved everyone through. And now it is waiting just at the top of the hill going down to Brussels.
Yeah, I see that. I'm not sure why it would let them through, though.
Yeah, well,
the leader was right behind the safety car.
Yes, it caught them just fine. So, Bauer stating his upset. El Suciadan, we've got a understandably frustrated driver club in the chat here. So shout out to all you guys. It's been an exciting show, and I wish that more of you were still in it to finish this. We're getting some very strange things happening right now as the safety car has just let everyone do an extra lap for some reason. Get dunked going into the pits. It looks like everyone is recognizing that they have to be on softs at this point. So now we've only got the top 4 and Taylor Funk who are going to be running on softs. I'm not entirely sure why Taylor Funk didn't just go for a pit stop anyways. He's only in P7, there's not that much to lose. So Flex brings it in, and he's followed by Camborne as they make their way in, and right now it is an AlphaTauri 1-2. The safety car starts moving again. Brother John, I'm not frustrated, yay! Yeah, well, Fiji, you've been really showing some safety car, oh, Flex is disqualified! Flex has been disqualified for glitching through the safety car, and now this Flex is out of the race. The championship leader is disqualified by the game.
Why is safety car letting everybody through again?
The safety car let everyone through again, and the safety car continues. What a farce! El Suciadan calling divine justice on that. I am going to guess that El Suciadan is not a neutral commentator on anything. What the heck? Raro just passed Luke Brax and runs into the back of Ian Brax? I think there's some desync going on here, as this is utterly bizarre. What?
Yeah, I'm not sure what is.
What on God's green earth is going on here? Power, confessing to being a terrible monkey's paw. Well, and then there were 9, Cub. We are watching a farce from Codemasters right now.
Yeah, I think if this continues to happen, we will just finish this race of the safety car.
Well, at this rate, I'd be scared if I was Camborne. I'd just come up behind the safety car and I would treat it like... I don't know. I would treat it like a ball of antimatter. You would just annihilate it into pure energy if you get near it. Yeah, you have to be careful with the power application when your tires get cold there, Fiji. Sometimes the thing to do is to just short shift it. Oh yeah, we know the safety car stopped. It's letting the cars catch up, but then it's causing very weird glitches.
Yeah, it's teleporting back and forth, and it's letting drivers through when it's not supposed to.
Yes. Well, we've only got 9 drivers left. I wouldn't even know what to do with a race that gets messed. I mean, if the race is able to continue from this point, sometimes people just get, you know, hit by bad things by act of God. Camborne got disqualified by act of God, and well, he's leading the race now. Alright, he's very carefully approaching the safety car. Flex has gone. Cam does not want to suffer the fate of his teammate. Meanwhile, Double Alpine podium is suddenly looking like it might be in the books. But Raro is sitting here in P4. All these medium-clad drivers up in the front. Luke Brax actually at the furthest ahead of the soft drivers. Alright. They're gathered behind the safety car.
Is back to normal.
It looks like it is now behaving properly, but we are going to keep an eagle eye on that, and Cam, I'm sure, is also being very cautious. Hopefully, we will see safety car in this lap, and we will get a bit of a sprint as the drivers at the front on the medium tires, Cub, are going to have to fight off the charging drivers on the softs. That's Luke Brax, Dubman, Paulzek, Get Dunked, and T. Goldie.
No, looks like the safety car will not come in this
The
lap.
safety car is not going in this lap in spite of the fact that every single driver has been gathered behind it. Amazing programming from Codemasters. Fine acquisition, Electronic Arts. Alright, one more lap under the safety car, Cub. Do you have any songs you like singing?
Songs? I'm not really singing, honestly.
Not a singer? Okay.
Nope, not at all.
Alright, let's see. That's great, it starts with an earthquake, birds, snakes, and aeroplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. I have a hurricane, listen to yourself, turn world set to stone, needs never serve you wrong, needs to be the well, that's a hard song to sing. I shouldn't have picked End of the World as we know it.
You know what would be funny?
What would be funny, Cub?
If we get another lap under the safety car.
It would be especially funny because if this runs much longer, I'm going to have to end the podcast because I have work at the hour.
Uh-oh.
So hopefully they don't take 20 minutes for the last 5 laps. El Suciadan calling to finish the race with half points. I think we'll discuss what happens here. Honestly, if the safety car can end it here, right now what it's done is it's basically really messed up Flex, but the rest of the race is still going on here. But if the safety car just keeps on going out, clearly the whole end half of the race was glitched out, and well, it will come up to the stewards to decide what exactly we do with a race like this. We've got the positions at all these points. We might do one of those rollbacks where you basically roll it back to the start of the lap before the incident. But we'll see. How's your cat doing?
Yeah, he's meowing at me right now.
Oh yeah, well, that's wonderful.
He needs attention.
He needs attention. Well, you know, if we get another lap, Nameless Nate posting the uninstall button right now. In all honesty, a reinstall might be a good idea. Oh, thank goodness, the safety car is leaving. Go away, don't come back, we're turning you off. I don't say that officially as a steward, but right now I really am feeling just the safety car is not doing its job. The safety car serves a good purpose in this sport, but right now it's not doing it. Alright. We need a code from all of these drivers to play it safe, because we do not want to see another safety car at this race. It is lap 18 Cup, and Camborne, Ian Brax, and Robert are leading, but they are all on aging medium tires. They're going to have a charging gang behind them on the softs, and here we go. Camborne is taking us away. Very close is the Alpine, and Camborne takes it down the start-finish straight. Ian Braxton, the Alpine, is following. Raro right behind the briefly flashed yellow, but he's clear. Taylor Funk is going to see if he can make something happen, but right now it's Luke Brax who might be making the move on Raro. He's not quite close enough for it right now, not just at this moment, but things could be trouble. Get Dunk loses the position to T Goldie through La Source. And now we're going to see the line that Luke Brax is able to take. Raro has a pretty decent line, but Luke Brax is very close, and he is going to get a huge charge here. And this is going to promote Luke into P3, I'm pretty sure. He's going to be able to brake a bit later, but he is going to play the patient game. He doesn't need to make this pass immediately. So you come through, and it's Get Dunked, currently running P9, and given the length of the race, it looks like we're not even going to have 10 drivers classified, since I don't think Bauer made it 90% of the distance to get classified. Luke Brax is very close to the back of Raro, and I don't see what this Aston Martin can do in order to fend off the Alpine. He's going to get such a run here. Here we go, into Lithuania. What would you say? Would you? Oh, that's a dangerous place to put on the power, Luke. Use the downforce.
From Raro.
Absolutely, that's really solid stuff. Raro can confidently place that vehicle, but now Luke's got such a run. Raro not letting him go up the inside. They're so very, very close right now. Surely, there's no more defending. This has to be the end of it. And he goes up around the outside, they're going in, and he's gotten ahead. He doesn't have to leave any spaces, he's clearly through. And that's it, Luke Brax is able to get through, but it took him a full lap and it dropped him outside of DRS range. Camborne is leading ahead of Ian Brax, but Ian also has DRS. Luke Brax is closing in very closely. Are we going to see some cooperation from the Alpines as they make their way through here? Taylor Funk is the next car behind Raro, but they are on the same tires, so he's not going to have the same kind of advantage. Ooh, T-Funk has a bit of a moment out of riding on, but he's still staying close. Balzac picks up a penalty further behind. Raro is going to be under threat here, as he has got that Williams just riding his diffuser. It's not going to happen this time. Oh, side by side, the two teammates! They touched, Martin! They touched! T. Goldie and Dubman. A little bit of friendly fire. These guys once were running P1 and P19, now they're running P6 and P7, and they have converged in this race right in the middle.
Luke Brax is on a charge right now.
And
he's already on his teammate's gearbox.
Yeah, and I can only imagine that his brother is going to say, yeah, this is yours, take it. Critically, Luke Brax is already an effective lead of this race, because he does not have any penalties, unlike the two drivers ahead of him.
Well, we'll see if Ian lets his brother through.
Previously, they've been quite good on team play here. Oh, Luke getting very close there. Really doesn't want to throw it all away. He was patient with Rorocopter. And critically,
DRS enabled.
DRS is enabled, and critically, all the drivers further back, goodness. All the drivers further back have actually slipped out of DRS range from each other except for Taylor Funk on Raro. Alright, Luke is nice and far back for here. He doesn't get an amazingly better line than Ian Brax, but now with the DRS open, it's going to mean nothing because Ian also has DRS. Cam is actually the driver under threat as Ian Brax dives up the inside. A little bit of contact there. And this is going to bring Luke into the fight. Oh! Goodness. His car just jumped around with a brief moment of lag there. We know that the Brax brothers have had tricky internet connections in the past. So hopefully that doesn't lead to things coming to tears with the Alpines. Luke Brax got to be impatient here, but he has shown a lot of patience actually, so, you know, I'm just projecting how I'd be feeling in his boots right now.
Well, Luke has to make a move or something. He needs to get past his teammate.
He absolutely does. Although, well, no, he doesn't really. Look at the penalties.
Well, yeah, he wins them penalties, but, you know, it's more satisfying to win on the track.
It's certainly more satisfying, yes.
Yeah, and Taylor Funk in P4, but Rara has no penalties, so he will get that spot back.
Indeed, and Taylor Funk's actually...
He might possibly even end up on the podium.
He could, if he's close enough to Ian Brax, and Raro hasn't been falling off this group. In fact, well, the thing is, Raro's not close enough to be able to see that Ian Brax has a penalty. He's only going to see the two cars right in front of him. So he doesn't know how important it is that he stays close to Ian Brax. But right now, there's only one lap, and I don't see him losing that much speed. Or time, rather. So now...
I think he will end up on the podium here.
I agree. If things stay as they will, that has to happen. So Luke Brax right behind Ian, and he's just racing in here. He's so much faster than the cars ahead, but he hasn't been able to get through on his brother. And right now, yeah, Ian is actually in a lot of trouble here. He is going to lose the podium just off of a 3-second change, I think. Because it's only 1 second from Luke Brax back to Rarocopter. As these four come through, Taylor Funk takes a little bit of a wide line there. And T-Funk gonna just be cursing the 6-second penalty because he's in very nice position as well.
Actually, Cambor might even end up behind Raro.
That? Goodness. You're right. It's going to be close. It's going to be really close. I think we need to have a little bit of look. Let's not look at the intervals right now. Let's look at the gap to the leader. Because Raro's only 1.7 seconds behind. Right now, Raro is going to jump the on-track leader because how close this group is. It turns out that by being on these slower tires and bottling everything up, these penalties are absolutely massive. Camborne is not going to win this race. Ian Brax is not going to win this race. Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Brax is going to win this race, and Rarocopter is going to be in second. Camborne takes P3, Ian Brax P4, Taylor Funk P5, Dubman himself comes across in P6, and things are still sorting out as Get Dunked makes his way across the finish line. T Goldie P8, and Balzac makes his way, slowly wiggling his way across the finish line. He's not ahead of anyone, but he finished the race. And honestly, today that was good enough for 2 points. Camborne Driver of the Day, Cub. You called it earlier, and you were right.
I mean, that last to P3, I think that is a really, really good recovery drive.
Absolutely. Like, that is better than that. That was, well, that was a result right there. So, Alpine back on top, only had 4 races this whole season this Ian, and he's gotten a ton of points off of those. If he can just be able to show up more often, he's going to be a championship contender. Pardon me, Luke. Blah. So, in the end, Luke Brax, Rarocopter, and Camborne make up the podium. Ian is off of the podium with that 3-second penalty. He didn't have enough of a gap to the 2 drivers who had managed to keep it clean throughout the race. But ultimately, only 9 drivers even classified for this race. Bauer did not make it to 90% before he went out in 10th position. Well, what do you have to say about that one?
You know, I said lap 1 that we might not even get a safety car. And I think it's just a commentator's curse at this point. I cursed the safety car.
Yeah, the safety car was feeling sad that it didn't get to come out for any of last Wednesday's race, so it came out in force, and then it stayed out, and then it decided it wanted to race other people, and then it disqualified Flex to make the championship a little bit more exciting. That was probably the reason that happened. I'll consult with Lucky Moose on that one.
Yep, you have to contact the safety car driver, ask him what's going on.
Indeed. Well, I think I'll be finishing up the broadcast there, but big shout out to everyone who was there in the chat. Hummus God, Rocket Puppy, El Sucio Dan, Brother John, Bauer, Fiji, Brother John. Did anyone else say anything? I think that's everyone who was in the chat today. And big shout out to my man Cub, who has been generous enough to co-cast with us tonight, taking some time out from his duties as the official Mercedes engineer, tech support, strategist man.
Yeah, you're welcome, Chaos. My pleasure.
It's been great to have you, and great to have everyone who has been with us here. This has been FRL. This is our races that we run on Mondays at this time. We also run a community night most Thursdays, presuming that we can be available, but there's always going to be a few people who are up for a race the same time on Thursdays. And that is Belgium. We are halfway through the season, and the championship just keeps on heating up. This race, we saw Camborne close the gap to Flex, not under the most typical of circumstances, certainly. Flex would be right to be very upset about what happened there. But we all race on the same playing field, and sometimes that playing field is bullshit. This has been Chaos for Cub, signing out.
Good night, y'all.